Let me introduce you to the death's head hawk moth. They get that name from the skull-like coloration on their back, where some scientists just stuck some of the world's tiniest trackers. Every year, death's head hawk moths fly themselves from up here in Europe all the way down to the Mediterranean, even down into Northeast Africa, possibly as far as the Sahara Desert. That is a 4,000-kilometer long journey. No one has been able to track insects anywhere near that long. The problem was that even though trackers have gotten good enough to be so small you can stick them onto an insect, they don't push out much of a signal, which is a big deal if you're trying to track a moth that could potentially be flying hundreds of kilometers away from you. So what these researchers did was tag 14 death's head hawk moths and then sent up a light aircraft. Once a moth took off, the plane would focus on that one in particular, flying in big loops around it for up to 4 hours at a time. And the moths surprised them because the pilots were plotting courses that were assuming the moths would get pushed around everywhere by the wind. When the radios pinged though, they realized that these 3-gram moths were changing their altitude and how much energy they were putting in flapping to stay pretty much perfectly on a straight line to their destination. And they managed to achieve that even though a lot of these moths will never actually reach that destination. They have to cycle through generations of moth, egg, caterpillar, moth to actually migrate such long distances. We don't know how they managed to stay on course like this. What it does do is remind us that we have a lot left to learn about how the world works.